Do you think that Poilievre lost the election because of his Trump-style populism?
That played a huge role in this election, but also his policies and kind of strongman attitude towards the indigenous population, immigration. Need to kind of tread softly and slowly with the polite Canadians, I guess.
Mark Carney is our new prime minister. What is your first reaction in one word?
Not too happy because they didn't really do anything the last 8 years, so I don't know why we're running it back.
I'm a little bit surprised.
I'm happy.
I guess relieved. I don't agree with many conservative views.
Disappointed with the Liberal Party the past 10 years. I feel like our economy has been declining. I know it's a different person than Justin Trudeau, but I know that most of the MPs are the same. And I feel like the party as a whole will probably be heading in the similar direction.
Not shocked.
If change is good, we got to give everybody a
Do you think the Canadians voted for Carney or against Poilievre?
Against Poilievre. They were scared of what they've seen with Trump, so they don't want that happening here.
Against Poilievre.
I think it's a mix. In Quebec, it was probably more against Poilievre because I don't think he appealed specifically to any Quebecers. But I guess in other places, people were talking about how the NDP losses may have been because people were voting for the Liberals because they were scared of the Conservatives. And then that caused more vote splitting in those regularly NDP ridings.
Yes.
I think it was more fear of Poilievre.
I think for Carney. I think a lot of what was being said was that we need somebody to stand up to Trump. So I think he's probably the guy to do it.
I think he was around too little to have a fair assessment.
Liberal people here were more aggressively voting, not to change or not to give a space for conservatives.
Do you think that Poilievre lost the election because of his Trump-style populism?
It's a combination of a few things. So that obviously played a huge role in this election, but also his policies and kind of strongman attitude towards, the indigenous population, immigration. Need to kind of tread softly and slowly with the polite Canadians, I guess. Yeah, that's the way it should have been for him if he wanted to win.
You have to be polite to win here.
I actually don't think he's that similar to Trump. Oh, well, I think a lot of baby boomers might think that he's similar to Trump.
Oh, yeah?
And because of the Trump tariffs and everything, they just want nothing to do with him.
I don't think he was particularly like Trump to me. I think it's more a result of the change in conservatism from Stephen Harper and Kim Campbell of the fall of the progressive conservatives and rise of the conservatives, and how split they are in their own party, because I'm from Ontario and the Doug Ford is a lot more liberal or left-leaning than the federal conservatives. And I think that may have alienated some conservative voters, but I noticed a lot of his policies were very cliche. These kind of slogans like low taxes, the term woke ideologies of him saying he was going to defund universities because of woke ideologies.
I think that a lot of people got scared of was the whole thing that Trump said about buying Canada. I've heard that some people strongly opinion as well because they were scared of their pensions being taken away.
I believe so. I think everyone they liked Trump at first, but right now it's not going too well. So
Yeah.
I think maybe that influenced it in some way.
If you had to describe the election in one word, what would you use? Do you think it was rigged?
No, maybe new, because I think there are a lot of things in this election that were not in previous elections. It really gave more American vibes with the two-party system.
Exactly.
Rather than Canada, which is usually split between some smaller parties.
Not rigged, but rapid. I think people couldn't get their heads around it.
I don't think it was rigged. It was tight. It was close and divided.
Seems like it because I don't know anyone who wanted the Liberals to win, or maybe that's just in my circle. Not sure why they won.
Do you know that Jagmeet Singh lost in his riding and recently stepped down? Do you think that part of his demise was actually caused by his partnership with the Liberals?
Oh yeah, for sure. I don't want to be mean, but I think he deserves what he got, because there was non-confidence votes many months ago that could have triggered an election while Trudeau was still in power, and Jagmeet Singh voted against the non-confidence vote, even though his whole platform is he's still against the Liberals.
Yeah.
But he still supported the Liberals. So yeah, he prevented the Conservatives from winning, but the consequence of that is that the Liberals took a lot of the seats from the NDP, and because of that, he lost his party status, he lost his seat. He already has his pension, he has his Maserati already.
He has a lot of respect from a lot of people, but this sort of flippy-floppy way to kind of find grounding, yes, it played against him for sure.
Jack Dayton rose to popularity because he was so strong on being we're going to support the Liberals sometimes, but we're not going to compromise our party independence. And I think he really showed that. He would say things and he'd be like, we need change, the Liberals are doing this. And people were kind of like, but it's a coalition government. You're supposed to have more of a say. And I don't think they really saw that, him being able to stand up for what he was preaching.
What issue would you like Carney and his new government to work on first?
Housing crisis, for sure.
Maybe some people like me, not immigration. Find a middle ground with the whole inflation and taxing side of things, care about the people, and then obviously the whole tariff side of things.
Have a better economy. I think Trudeau made a lot of social welfare policies that he didn't really think through of different economic policies that Harper made that kind of hindered that and then led to our economy falling apart a little bit. I hope he starts addressing those issues right away.
Healthcare, coming from Toronto, our hospitals are overrun. Like there's not enough support there. And I think we need to put healthcare first.
Affordability, even though that's very vague. I know Carney is probably going to try to address it, but I feel like the way he's going to address it will be even more with more regulations compared to the conservative way would have been removing regulations.
Strengthening the economy, to be honest. I think the government waste has been the biggest downfall for the Liberal Party.
I think the job market, increase the jobs available.
Taxes, immigration, all that kind of stuff.
All the above.
Yeah.